What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode today of the My Player Career Mode. This is episode number 12. We've got 4 games for you guys to watch in today's episode. All 4 of them Ben is featuring in. So grab yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, come back and enjoy today's episode. So the first of the 4 starts off here against Burton Albion. I will be playing all of the games today on Legendary, so that is a little bonus for you guys, making it slightly harder. So Ben picked for this first game. Let's see how he gets on. If you remember back to the previous episode, we'd had a bit of a hit and miss kind of few results recently. We ended up playing 2 games in the league, mixed in with an FA Cup game against Stoke, and we ended up coming away with, I do believe, 2 draws and a defeat. Of course, Stoke being the defeat, and I think the 2 draws came in the league. So kind of mixed emotions at the moment with how Ipswich are doing. However, Ben played very well in the games of the Championship rather than the actual FA Cup one. Didn't really get going in that one. So in terms of Ben's personal performance for the last episode, it was pretty good. But in terms of results, not quite what you're hoping for as an Ipswich, supporter, if that is the case. So Ipswich still chasing that last automatic promotion spot against Reading are really going to have to pick up some points today if they want to keep momentum going and trying to find that little bit of more points they need to close the gap between them and Reading. So what better way to do it than to start off in the right way here against Burton Albion. But 32 minutes in, we ended up with the first chance. Ben on the ball, quite deep, picks it up, plays a ball into McGoldrick, gets it back from the forward, and on his weaker right side, decides to try and have an effort goalwards. In the end, it goes just over the top of the crossbar. You can see, wasn't too far away there from making the score 1-0. Bearing in mind, Ben also had a fresh trim, guys. For you guys asked me to change the hairstyle, so I did that for you guys. He had a haircut. I'm sure at some stage, if he doesn't like it, he can go back to the other one. But 36 minutes in, another good opportunity for us here. And again, the keeper this time is called upon as he has to make the save. But another chance going begging. Hopefully we don't come back to rue these missed chances. 50 minutes onto the game now. Second half starts. Ben picks up the ball. A lot of luck here as it deflects off the defender. Bounces straight back to him. Great ball across the face of goal. And somehow it stays out. I have no idea how it isn't Ipswich Town 1, Burton Albion 0 here, because that should have been a guaranteed goal every day of the week. I have no idea how the striker missed that. Really shouldn't have done. Should have quite comfortably put that in the back of the net, but he didn't. And as I said to you, are we going to come back to miss or rue these missed chances? 20 minutes from time here, Burton Albion got themselves their first chance of the game on the left-hand side. Cross whipped in, not dealt with very well by us at all. And Burton Albion's player there in the middle of the box sends his left-footed volley past the defender. I think it's Sordell, and also past the Ipswich Town goalkeeper. So there was 3 chances for Ipswich to try and take the lead in this one. Ben with that strike from the edge of the area with his right foot. Then the cross across the face of goal where the keeper made a good stop. And then the guaranteed goal that should have been when Ben set up his teammate and he missed it in basically an open goal. If one of them had gone in, it would have been Ipswich leading. None of them did. And then Burton Albion get 1 chance and they score it. So full credit to them for scoring the chance. But I cannot tell you how frustrating that was for Ipswich and ourselves here, because that should have been quite an easy game for us. We should have had the chances that we did. If we'd have put that one away where Ben sets him up, that would have then sent Burton Albion to try and counter-attack, or to attack, and maybe we could have counter-attacked them. So it's a disappointing way to start the episode off, guys. And as I said, it just adds more worries to this Ipswich Town side. Have they got it mentally to chase down Reading at the top of the, I guess, in the second place automatic promotion spot? Even Hull, actually, at the top of the table as they drop points to Nottingham Forest there. So, mentally, can Ipswich do it? That's going to be the question mark here, because we've let themselves, or they've let themselves down recently in terms of results. 3 games now on the spin, 2 draws and a defeat. Not good at all. And even though Ben played decently in that game as well to really try and set his team up, it doesn't matter how well he's playing at the moment because they're just not getting the results they need. So for Ben, it's kind of a situation where it doesn't matter 100% to him, because at the end of the day, he's on loan at Ipswich, so he will go back to Wolves at the end of this season and potentially move on anyway to a Premier League club or something like that. But for Ipswich and the job that he's trying to do here in helping them and aiding them to promotion, it's not good. So, again, disappointing way to start the episode off. We've got a chance here, though, to bounce back now. Ben again picked for this one. You can see that left them 8 points behind Reading, I do believe. And I think Ipswich still had a game in hand. So potential to move it down to 5 if they can win that game in hand. But Wolves, our opponents for this one, of course, Ben's partner or parent club, sorry. So he did score the winner against Wolves when they first played against each other way back in episode number 9. I say way back, it was only 3 episodes ago. He did score the winner in that one, guys, and you guys told me to play it. So again, he's going to feature in this game against Wolves. Surprisingly enough, our parent club manager in the Wolves manager did let Ben play, and it was nearly a mistake from him because 20 minutes in, Ben picks it up, gets past Miranda far too easily, and then the pressure just gets to him. He ends up sending his right-footed strike acres wide of that post. I don't know what happened to him. He just saw his name in lights against his parent club again. And that time he got it horrifically wrong there. And it was actually a very interesting game, this one, because you had 2 of the hottest prospects in Ruben Neves and Ben Wood in the championship playing against each other on the day. And they were kind of man-marking each other until Ben just switched off completely. He stood on the edge of the area, and I have to give credit to Ruben Neves here because he does make the run, and that is why he scores the goal. And you've got to say as well, this is what Ben has been doing all season long for Ipswich, what Ruben Neves have just done there. But as I said, in terms of a matchup, it was going to be brilliant because you had the 2 hottest young central midfielders at the moment in the championship against each other. Now, man marking, Ben should have done it. He stands on the edge of the area, doesn't watch where Ruben Neves is. He comes from very, very deep. But it doesn't matter because he scores the goal, which gives Wolves the lead here on the stroke of half-time. And then Ben tries to get Ipswich moving in the second half, 51 minutes into this one. McGoldrick gets in behind. His touch lets him down, though. And in the end, he has to have a snapshot, which goes wide of the bottom corner. But as it stood, Wolves about to get revenge for what Ben did to them in episode number 9. So, at the moment, Ipswich are going to lose their second consecutive game in a row if it stays like this. And they sent everybody forward, all out attack at this stage. And after that, it was such a simple task for Wolves to make the score 2-0 on the break. So, again, disappointing, disheartening. Honestly, I guess you can say it was Ben's fault for allowing Ruben Neves to score the opener. You know, on another day, Neves doesn't make that run. They don't score that goal. It remains 0-0. So, you can kind of say it was Ben's fault for this one, and maybe, you know, if you are kind of looking at him saying he is very good going forward, but defensively he just doesn't have the mind to be able to do it, that could be the question mark that is raised. But again, you have to question the mentality of this Ipswich team because under pressure, again, they're not delivering now. They realise that, hang on a minute, they could still get themselves an automatic promotion spot, and then all of a sudden, 2 games on a row, they get defeated in both of the games without scoring a goal, and most importantly, both of those games were at home. So, disappointing performances all around from both of those games. 3rd game coming up now, guys, for you all. And hopefully they can bounce back in the correct way. This time, it is away to Preston North End. So, I have to give major credit to Ben's parent club there, Wolves, for not only playing very well, but getting the job done, even if it had to be 2 chances, 2 goals for them. So, 2 defeats on the bounce. Let's not make it 3, guys. As you can see there, Ipswich now down from 3rd into 4th. Leeds United are in a good run of form at the moment. Then they climb themselves to 3rd place. Ipswich losing ground at the 2nd place and 1st place spots at the moment. So, not too confident going forward to see if they can try and get themselves an automatic promotion spot. Might be a case of them just having to settle for the playoffs instead. So, Preston, our opponents now for the 3rd game, guys. Ben again picked for this one. That is the team on the screen. He did have a good first game in the 1-0 defeat to Burton Albion. The second one against Wolves, not so good. His personal performance wasn't great, and he did let Ruben Neves score that goal, as I said. So he himself as well, after that really bad game, wants to make sure he's proving a point to the rest of the league here. But 17 minutes in, Ben with a first chance on that left foot of his, sends his effort goalwards. Keeper makes an easy save, as to be honest, the strike was straight at him, and it was never really going to test the goalkeeper. But 56 minutes in now, on the second half started. Johnson, how about that for a cross into the middle? Couldn't really ask for a better delivery, could you? The man arrives on the end of it as well, and he makes the score. Preston North End 1, Ipswich Town 0, 57 minutes in as he shushes the camera. And that really did just sum up how the episode was going for Ben. You know, again, he was struggling. You know, the service on the day wasn't great from anybody in the Ipswich team. They gave away the ball far too easily in some areas that they shouldn't have done. And just in general, they just weren't playing very well. And they've hit kind of a slump at the moment. So if they're not careful, they may even move out of the playoffs into like 7th, 8th, even possibly 9th as well. So they do need to try and get themselves back in this game here. And what better way than Ben to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and do just that. Cuts it past 2 defenders there, leaves them for dead. Not entirely sure where this centre-back is going as he leaves acres of space for Ben to run into. And just like that, with 18 minutes to go, it is Preston North End 1, Ipswich Town 1. Ben with the equaliser in the game, and that's what you needed him to do. As I said, he needed to grab the game by the scruff of its neck, take it to Preston, and do something special, and that's what he did. But you have to get major question marks at that defender for Preston. Where on earth was he going? He left so much space for Ben to run into, it wasn't even funny. So 13th league goal of the season for Ben now, and it does give us a way back into this game here against Preston. So as it stands, going to at least get a point from this one, even if they can't find a second. And see us leaving the pitch for Waghorn to come on, and hopefully fresh legs up top can try and get them the second goal. But Preston didn't want to rest on their laurels here. They wanted to try their best. Johnson, who of course whipped in that great delivery earlier on, whips in another one. But what on earth is the keeper doing? Seriously, that is just unbelievably bad. He tries to get the cross, and instead of catching it, palms it straight back into the danger area. If you're gonna palm it out for a corner. That's just unreal. You cannot afford to make mistakes like that. Preston take full advantage of it. The man on the end, it was an attempted header actually. He palmed it into our teammate who then headed it out. And you can see there Gallagher ends up with this volley. There's question marks about offside because number 29 I felt did touch the ball. Turns out he actually didn't. He missed it completely. But in the end, Preston 2, Ipswich 1. 7 minutes to go here. Ben looking to get them straight back in this. Gets a nice opportunity to try and do something with the ball. He gets the ball across the face of goal, but nobody is at the back post to try and whip it and get the end touch onto the end of that to make it 2-2. So another disappointing defeat. 3 games in today's episode, 3 defeats back to back. That is not good for Ipswich mentally and their confidence and morale moving forward. It's not good because, as I said, they now pretty much, not only are they trying their hardest to get that automatic promotion spot, but within the space of an episode, they've gone from that to maybe dropping out of the playoff spots entirely. So yeah, they do definitely need to try their best to pick it up and try and get another result in this last game here, which isn't going to be easy, guys, because Hull back to winning ways against Sheffield United there. I didn't see what Reading did. They actually lost to Derby there as well. But it isn't going to be easy, this final game, because it is against top of the table Hull City. So given current form, the way that Ipswich are playing, even if it is at home, you would bet your bottom dollar that Hull City probably will come out on top in this one. So as I said, yeah, 2 home defeats in the episode so far. If you're a betting man, you're probably going to bet that it most likely will be 3 out of 3. So, yeah, not looking too forward going into this one against Hull City. But, of course, Ben and the rest of the boys will try their best to get the result here if they can do so. And most importantly, it was important to just not lose this game. I would probably take a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw, or at least a draw, to be honest, just so they can get a little bit of confidence. But right now, as you can see there, down in 5th place, only a point above Wolverhampton Wanderers in 7th. So, as I said, there is a little bit of a risk here that Ipswich may drop out of the playoff spots if they're not careful. So Ben needs to really push himself and try and get the rest of the lads playing good football. And it was actually Ben with the first opportunity as soon as the game started, and that pretty much summed up how it's been for Ipswich and Ben. Like, he should have buried that. 100% should have buried it. And that is just shocking, shocking finishing from Ben. So, yeah, disappointing. And then Hull go close themselves in the 12th minute there. I think it was Larson in the end with that strike. Very, very nearly making the score 1-0 to the visitors. But truth be told, guys, I mean, Ben has scored against Preston, but it's just not been a good episode, has it? He had a man-of-the-match performance in the first game. He got man-of-the-match in that game against Preston. But then the disappointing performance against Wolves, and then missing that chance in this one against Hull City. Even the chance he missed against Wolves was shocking. So he's missed some big, big chances in today's episode, and that's not very good. So in the end, guys, we do get a 0-0 draw. As I said, Ben does get at least one more opportunity, but he could only send his effort over the top of the crossbar. And it is, in the end, going to be a 0-0 draw. So they avoided defeat, and that's something you can kind of take as a positive from this one. But overall, in terms of results for the episode, not a good episode. 3 defeats and a single draw, leaving Ipswich down in that situation where they're going to be fighting potentially for a playoff spot now as well with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Luckily for them, Reading did beat Wolves, but it just moves Reading even further away in 2nd place. So, yeah, it's looking as if Ipswich now may not be able to get the automatic promotion spot. It's going to be a case of trying to hold on to the playoffs for themselves. But that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. If you have enjoyed it, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. I will see you all again at 6 p.m. UK time tonight. That is how the current league table looks. Even Aston Villa actually closing the gap as well in 51 points. But luckily for Ipswich, they do hold 2 games in hand, so we'll see if they can get victories from those in the next episode. I'll see you all again at 6 p.m. UK time tonight, guys, for an Ultimate Team Road to Glory episode. Don't miss it. Catch you all then. Adios!